is focused on the lower part of our legs, and other things will move. Things will move as we go, but that's the focus, and it's going to be it's going to be somewhat of a different practice. So some things we normally do we're not going to do. So in addition to your piece of Kleenex that I requested, that's just going to be on the floor and ready for us, have 2 blocks, and if available, and I don't know if you need to move me at all, so that you could have a wall. So there's going to be 2 or 3 things where you might want to have a hand on the wall, so you can just see, or you could have a hand on a chair. So do you have something like that that's available?
Yeah.
Should be doable? Okay, great. Then we will begin as per usual on our backs, as per often on our backs. So you can come on down and go ahead and have your feet on the floor, pretty much under your knees and pretty much in line with your hips. And just settle here for a moment. Feel heavy in the shoulders. Feel as heavy in the shoulders as you feel in the feet, essentially. And come into your breath. Start awareness like at the top of your knees. We're gonna head towards the feet. So just in your mind's eye, glide down the front of your shin. So there's the shin bone that goes all the way down there to the ankle, and just notice anything you feel in the front of the legs. Have contact with the full foot on the floor. And then notice and feel the feet on the floor. Feel what parts of the feet make contact with the floor and what parts of the feet come away from the floor, like the arch. Then come around the heel and then go up the back of the leg and just notice anything you feel at present in the back of the leg. There are many. The muscle structure in the lower leg is not unlike the muscle structure in the lower arm. There's many more muscles in these parts than there are in the upper part, which is just interesting. There's only 2 in the upper of this and 2 in the upper of that. But there's 2 major ones back here, another major one in the front here, and almost too many to mention, but we'll talk about the ones that you'll feel and that are key. So the lower limb is pretty complicated. And obviously more complicated by the ankle and what the ankle is required to do in life. All right, so let's bridge as we often do. So let's have just this feet awareness. So feeling those 8 points, right? 4 points on each foot. Really first, just really push your feet and let your feet do more of the work. Your glutes are going to engage, hamstrings and quadriceps. Just really feel like you keep using the feet, the whole bridge. Like, don't take your awareness out of your feet. Come up and then float back down again. We can add some inhale to come up. And then even as you lower, just have this, just be a foot specialist inside this bridge, right? Just be really focused on the feet the whole time. Which includes being focused on the ankles. And again, we sort of talk about bridge as being very hammy and quaddy and glutey, right? But you can feel some muscles in those lower legs that are contributing to the effort of this lift. One more time, up and down. Right. So relax for a moment here. Let's keep both knees bent, but then lift your right knee up and just kind of put your hands around your right thigh, and you can pull it in a further away. It doesn't really matter how close it is to you. And we're just going to do some pointing and flexing of the foot. So let's go ahead and straighten the leg and point the toes. So the toes are lifting up to the air. And if you're not all the way straight, don't worry about it. And then flex and bend. And that's the action. You're just going to point and straighten and flex and bend. So whatever range of motion you get here is fine. So the ankle's moving quite a bit, lifting the lower leg up, lowering it back down again. A couple more just like that. Just feel what you feel. Again, with this pointing and flexing, there's some information that comes down into that I feel in the leg as well through these actions. So a couple more. All right, then put this right foot down and just sit here for a moment and just notice anything. Notice how the side that worked feels versus the side that has not yet worked. And then lift up, hug this leg, whatever's comfortable, however close is comfortable. You're going to point and straighten and flex and bend. Just noticing how it feels. Certainly the ankle is moving, foot is moving, and then feel what you feel in the musculature of the lower leg. Straighten time, flex it, then put that foot down. Just rest for a moment, just breathe, notice how you feel. Okay, no, let's do this one now. Okay, I'm gonna turn a little bit so you can see my feet moving. So we're gonna try one more movement of the ankle here. So what I'd like you to do is same thing, kind of just hold loosely onto your right leg so the foot's in the air. And what you want to do is this. Point your foot and then pull the toes in to the center. And then flex your foot and come up like that and pull your toes over to the other side and point. All right, does that make sense? And then repeat it the same way. So pull the toes across, in, flex up, draw the pinky away, point down. One more time in this direction, point and flex and point. And then come back to the beginning. Now we're going to go the other way. So push the pinky away, flex up, draw the big toe over, point down. So we're drawing like little rectangular shapes with the foot, 3 in one direction, 3 in the other direction. All right, put that foot down and just notice how things feel. Second side, so holding onto the left leg, nice and gentle. So point first and pull the toe in, flex it up, cross, pull the pinky away, push down. Keep going in that direction. So just picture you're drawing a rectangle. I think mine is a little bit of a funny shaped rectangle. And then go the other way. All right, with that, and just breathe for a moment. So from here, let's come around to familiar cat and cow. So we'll come around for cat and cow. And let's go ahead and flex our toes. So we just have a little bit of a different lower leg awareness in cat and cow. Your knees are hip width apart. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. If you want to be on fist, you can be on fist. So really organize your shoulders, right? So shoulders drawn down, so they're ready to go. Spine's in complete neutral. Toes are tucked. So let's inhale into cow. So inhale, the belly's gonna fill, the shoulders are gonna pull back, the head's gonna pull up, the pelvis is gonna lift. And then exhale and push into cow. Keep going. And just notice how your feet and toes and lower legs feel inside of these movements. Keeping contact with the toes the whole time there in the flex position. Come back to neutral, feel the toe, leave the toes tucked. Now we're gonna rock back into what we call the broken toe pose. So just start to let your hips go back like you were taking yourself into a child's pose, and you can walk your hands back too. And you're gonna feel more pressure on your toes. So you're gonna stop where it feels enough to you. So that might be here, right? I tend to go all the way back and come up. So I've got a lot of weight on my toes. But if that's too much, just take it off, right? So you make a choice of where you want to be and just breathe here. Feel those shoulders relaxing back and down. And tip yourself back forward and undo the toes. And maybe go like this. Just going and relaxing. All right. Now we are going to come prone, and you're going to need a block to be available down in the lower edge of your mat, but we can wait to get there. So just without ceremony, take yourself prone, and then you want to lift the heels up so you're balanced right on your feet. I'm going to get this basu out of the way. It's the way. So you're right on. So you're balanced. Now the block's in the way. You're balanced right on your feet. All right. And you can be kind of in a sphinx in the upper body. You can be lower down if you prefer. What we're going to do is this. We're going to relax for a moment. So what you want to do is you're going to press the top of your left foot down, and you're going to feel your quads engage when you do that. And it's not going to look like I'm doing anything, right? I'm pressing my left foot down and then release it. So let's inhale and press down. Press the foot down, the quads, you feel the quadriceps engaging. And exhale. Inhale, press. Inhale, press. Inhale, press. And exhale, and one more time, inhale to press. Just notice if you feel what you feel in front of the lower leg. Or exhale, all right, good. So second side. And you don't have to put the other leg in the air. I only did that so you can see this, see whatever was happening. So press the right foot down. Press it down. So I feel quadricep engagement. And release. Press it down. And then just notice, what do you feel in the lower leg too? And release. Press it down. And release. Press it down. All right, now we're going to get a little more interesting. So take a block and put it flat like that so it could fit your foot. And then place your foot on the block. So it's a little elevated, right? Let me get this one out of the way. So once again, so the first thing I want you to do is this. To lift your leg up to be in line with the block, just engage your quadricep and just lift your quadricep. So all I did first was lift my quadricep and then really push the foot down. And then relax everything down. So quadricep and then press the foot. Relax everything down. Quadricep and then press the foot. One more times. So what you may or may not be feeling in the front of your leg is the tibialis, and there's an anterior and a posterior on either side of the shin bone. So you might feel one side more than the other side, or you might feel both. All right, so move the block so it's ready for your other foot. So once again, first action is lift the quadricep and then really press the foot down. Relax everything down. Lift the quadricep, press the foot. It's a two-parter. Lift the quad, press the foot. Notice what you feel. Last time. Okay, let's get the block out of the way and then slide yourself back to a child's pose, arms stretching in front of you, and relax here for a few breaths. And just feel what the lower leg feels like, all bent up like this. Fours, and let's tuck our toes. We're going to think about a downward facing dog now. So your hands maybe are just a little bit ahead of your shoulder. Draw those triceps back behind you. Really strengthen your shoulders so you feel ready to put the weight on the arms. And then with toes tucked, let's inhale, lift the knees, lift the hips all the way up. When you get there, go ahead and pedal, right? And pedal, and just notice again, how do your ankles feel? How do your feet feel? How does your lower legs feel? As you do this, really lift the hips up and away. Strong arms, long spine, head relaxed, neck and jaw relaxed. All right, and then finish pedaling. Just inhale, really lift those hips up and away, and exhale. Inhale your right leg up and step your right foot forward. We want to make two. We're going to start off with kind of basically two 90-degree shapes underneath us. And we want the blocks in front of us. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to move this block just so you can see me clearly. I want to, and you can pull this foot back a little bit, just so you feel strong. So the foot is going to start off under the knee, the ankle is going to start off under the knee. But this time, unusual, we don't usually do this. We're going to let the knee come forward. And if this back knee can be back or forward. We're not focusing so much on the hip flexor, we're really focusing on this deep bend in the ankle bone. So that's what we're focusing on here. So we're letting this knee come forward and just breathe, lean into it and breathe. And then take the tension out, come back, lean into it and breathe.
Okay.
Hi.
I didn't want to wake you up, but it looked like you were sitting up or something.
Take
Not
it
exercising.
back.
Oh, well, good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Breathe. And take the tension and come back. All right, and then take the what do I want to do? You know what? Let's go to down dog. So put your hands down. Let's lift back up into our downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. So pretty much a 90 and 90, right? You're going to adjust as you need to adjust. The knee is starting out over the ankle. And then you're going to let it press forward. So the knee comes all the way forward.
Yeah.
Relax it back. Let the knee come forward. And relax it back. Let the knee come forward. And then relax it back. All right. So one more time for a downward facing dog. So hands, you can tuck and step back. Inhale. Exhale. Let's inhale and walk forward towards the hands, and exhale, you're in a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, everything drops, forward fold. Then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, you're standing. Make sure my head is in the screen. Okay, so now we have some fun stuff standing. So let me sip something. Okay. I've got a lot of notes here, so I gotta look at my notes sometimes. Okay. All right, let's start with this. So I am going to use my pole as a wall, but you can use a wall as your wall, right? I'm just using my pole because you can see me better. So what we want to do first is standing up nice and tall. Let's step into a sort of a shortish lunge. So it's not a very big lunge, and this foot is at a little bit of an angle right behind you, and this knee is just bent a little bit. And inhale and grow taller. And then exhale and you want to straighten this leg, but it doesn't have to be bone straight, right? It can have a little softness. And inhale, tailbone is long. Inhale, nice and tall. And then what we want to do is, so you can put your hands on your wall, and then go ahead and flex this foot, and just feel where you feel that action. Feel it in the ankle, in the lower leg. You might feel it in the upper leg too. I certainly do. And then unflex, flex the foot. And put the foot back down. And flex the foot. And put the foot back down. And then go ahead and step your other foot forward so it's in the same sort of vicinity. And now step the opposite foot back. And have a little bend first and get organized. Lengthen that tailbone, lift the chest, everything's organized. And then let's go ahead and straighten the front leg a little bit. So it's pyramid-like. You've done pyramid with me. And now we're going to lift the right toes onto the heel, flexing it, and put it down, lift it up, and put it down, lift it up, down, and lift up, and put it down. All right, and then just step forward again and take a break. Okay. So I was saying that there's these muscles on either side of the shin bone that do a lot of stuff for us. And so, and we're gonna play with it in a couple of different ways. But next, let's bring our attention to our arches in particular and lifting our arches. So that's where the tissue comes in handy. So in an ideal world, the tissue's on a wooden floor as opposed to being on your sticky mat, right? So it's on a wooden floor. And okay. All right, so and then when you place your foot, so you want your heel and toes on the Kleenex. Hopefully your whole foot can fit on the Kleenex. And if you need to have your hand on a wall, you can. But we're not balancing here. We're both legs can stay on the ground. But what our intention is is I want to scrunch my toes in and lift my arch. And hopefully you can see it enough down there from this angle. So I'm just kind of scrunching my toes and trying to lift my arch. Stretch it back out again. I know half my head is not on the screen, but that's right. So scrunch. Crunch. So I'm really pulling those toes in, lifting the arch, and then stretch it back out again, and then scrunch. Stretch it back out again. All right, I have to reorganize my tissue. Maybe I'll move back here so you see more of my whole everything. So again, so start again. So your foot's on that tissue. And now what you want to do is you're not going to scrunch the toes. Now just simply see if you can lift the arch and lower it, lift the arch and lower it. When you lift this inner arch, see if you can feel like there's a line from the arch all the way up the inner leg. And then in preparation for something we're going to do shortly, I want you to equally think that the opposite side of the arch, let's call this the outer arch, and that there's a line that connects all the way up the leg, the outer arch, right? And right now you're really thinking of just the inner arch. Lift it and then release it, lift it and release it. And everybody's different. Some people naturally have a very high arch, other people have a very fallen arch. So you're moving this within your archness, what your arch normally does. All right, take a break and let's take the second foot. So again, whatever angle the tissue is, so that your heel and your toes are completely on the tissue. And then you're just, this leg is just wherever you need it to be to stay centered and balanced. Nice, good posture. And then scrunch the toes, lift the arch. And spread out, scrunch and lift, spread back out again, scrunch, and lift the arch. This is my left leg, which is a leg I have to work on the associated tendons a lot because I have an old ankle injury here. So this is good for everything. A couple more times just with this scrunching. All right, so make sure that the tissue is completely under your foot. And now think about that inner line from your ankle all the way up the inner, and then think about the outer arch all the way up the outside of the leg. Think about both, but you're just lifting the inner arch basically. So just lift the arch without the scrunch. Lift the arch and release, lift it, release, lift, and release, lift. And release and lift. And release one more time, lift it. And release it. All right, good. So just walk around a little bit. Change everything we're doing. And I will okay, yeah, this is what we should do next. Okay, good. So now you can stand back on your mat and stand hip width apart. And your knees can be a little soft. And just really feel your feet. Then really feel your ankles, really feel the front of your shin, really feel the back of your shin. And then redraw those lines. So inner arch, feel like there's a line that goes all the way up the inside of the leg, and outer arch, there's like feel like there's an arch that goes all the way up the outside of the leg. Okay, so feel all that. And then just before we do anything, just rock front and back. So rock forward, maybe your heels come up, rock back, your toes come up, right? So you're just kind of rocking back and forth. And you've got that arch, those four-line idea in here, but you're just rocking back and forth. All right, and then stop rocking back and forth. And now just kind of shift your weight side to side and just feel what that feels like in the foot, in the ankle, in the lower leg, in the upper leg. Feel what that feels like. All right, good. So this is so subtle, and it's not going to look like I'm doing anything, but just standing here, lift your inner arch up. So draw a line all the way up. You feel like you can connect it right to the pelvic floor. And then release it. And then pull your outer arch up to here. And release. This is super subtle. Inner, lift it up. And release. Outer, lift it up. And release. Inner, lift it up. And release. And outer, lift it up. And release. And I feel all sorts of feelings. All right, let go. Maybe again, march around a little bit while I make my next decision. Okay. All right. Kind of keeping this whole arch idea, we're going to do a certain kind of calf raise. So inhale, nice and tall. And exhale. And inhale your arms up. And then swing your arms around and just bend your knees, right? So you're hinging at the hip and your hands are on your thighs. And inhale here. And think about both sides of the arch, right? And then what you want to do is inhale here and exhale and lift your heels and put them down and lift. That's all we're doing. So lift them, put them down. So they're going to come up as high as they'll come. Put them down. Having that arch awareness, ankle awareness, lower leg awareness. Sometimes I'm going too fast. I'm going to try to slow it down. And X. So let's go to the wall again. We're gonna specifically stretch the back of our calves now. So go to a wall again. So you can have your hands on the wall. Step 1 foot forward, and it's not a very big lunge either. And then you want to just really this is my right leg, put your right heel down. So you can lean into the wall and feel like all the energy is going back. So you're stretching the back of your right calf. And the leg is straight. And this is getting the gastrocnemius, which is the big muscle back there. And then we're going to isolate soleus. So what I want you to do is keep the heel down and just bend the knee a little bit. And this is pretty subtle, but it's stretching the soleus a little bit more, which is another muscle that's in there in this lower leg part. So just breathe here. All right, and then step forward, take a little bit of a break, and then step the other foot back. So again, it's not a big lunge here. So the heel of the left foot is now really down. This leg is pretty straight. This one's bent, hands can be on the wall for a little bit of support. So you can kind of push into the wall and press back into the heel. Stretching that back half, the gastrocnemius. And then bend the left knee just a little bit. And now you're getting the soleus a little bit. More subtle. Step out of that. Again, sort of just step a little bit. Okay, now, we still want to be near a wall or a chair. And we're going to focus on the peroneals, which are on the side of the legs. And we're gonna need block. We're gonna need a block. So the block can be somewhere. There's 3 stages to this thing. So you're going to, again, be in not a very big lunge. And actually I'm gonna start with my right foot forward. So my right foot forward. So you're not in a very big lunge and your back heel is down. And again, you can support yourself with the wall, get as close to the wall as you want to get. And what's going to happen is I want to lift my right heel, and then I'm going to let me show it to you this way just so it's clearer. So I'm gonna lift my right heel, and then I'm gonna let it fall out to the side. Can you see how I just let it fall to the side? And then I'm gonna pull it in and let it fall out and pull it in. So this, you should feel this muscle working, right? So fall it out, pull it in, drop the ankle back, drop the ankle and take it back. All right, and then just step away, take a break. We'll keep alternating sides. So now the left leg's going to come forward. So again, it's not a very big lunge, right? So you feel, and I'm doing it without the wall now, but you can have a wall. So you're gonna lift up the ankle, lift up the heel, right? And then let the ankle drop and then pull it in, let it drop, pull it in, drop it out, pull it in, and in, and in. Last time, push it out, pull it in. All right, that was stage 1. All right, stage 2 is to take your block. Let me make sure I'm getting this exactly right. Yeah. Take your block and you want to put it between your ankles so that the block is not touching the floor, right? So it's between your ankles, it's not touching the floor. And it's pushing, so you're a little bit further apart than you're a little further than hip width apart, right? And then with this ankle, we want to lift and lower the heels. And while you're doing this, you can go back to that notion of those 2 lines that come up for the inner arch and the outer arch and see if you can feel that too while you're doing this action. All right, now the next one's the tricky one. And I should be able to show it to you from this angle. So you're going to put a block down. And again, I'm assuming you've got the wall in front of you. You can put a block down at this height and then step your foot. So your foot is, so you want the block to make contact with your ankle bone, your inner ankle bone, right? And then you're in kind of, a not very big lunge. Something for you to feel strong. Okay, good. And now when you lift the heel, keep the ankle bone on this block. So you're just kind of, you're trying to just hug the ankle bone into this block. I want to make sure my block's not moving. So you're just kind of drawing. So you just want to have contact with the ankle bone and the block the whole time. And again, you should feel this strength on, you should feel this in this outside muscle. One more time. All right, take a little break. Toot, 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 toot. Second side. Kind of set up the lunge. It's not a big lunge. Set up the foot. So then you're gonna lift the heel and lower it. Andrea's weaker side. And lower it. And you're breathing. Chest is elevated, you're tall. More times. All right. Now take both of your blocks in front of you because we're going to do a stretch for this muscle that we were just working. So what I want to do is, so have the blocks in your hands. What you're going to do is take your leg back behind you so you're on your pinky and then lower yourself down. And then just feel if you're getting, and then you're trying to drop your hip away because you're trying to stretch this outside muscle. I mean, yeah, does that make sense? Try to stretch that outside muscle. So just and you can come up again and then go the other side, right? So the leg stretches out, you're on the pinky edge of the foot, and then you're gonna drop the hip. So you're trying to stretch in here. Good. All right, come on up, and the blocks go down, and let's make sure, yep. All right, good. So you're in front of the mat. We're gonna sit down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take our knees underneath us. So in my class, we've got a classic that we do here that's good for ankles and wrists. So let's do this again today. So stretch out your legs, sit up nice and tall, stretch out your arms. So point your fingers and flex your feet, and then do the opposite and the opposite. Good. See if you have that, you can pay attention to that, the arch lines, center of foot and side of foot. All right, take a break from that. So let's do a little massaging. I know I'm getting a little late on time, but I want to do this today. So just sort of sit comfortably, have your right leg in front of you. And start with, you've got your thumbs, right? And just in the back, just go in the back and just massage the whole back, all the whole back of the calf with your thumbs. Your fingers are wrapped around the front. Just massage up. And when you get lower down, when you start to feel the tightness of the Achilles, avoid that, right? Just be on muscle. Just focus on muscle. Don't massage the Achilles. So up and down a few times. Gastrocnemius and soleus and everything else back here. All right, great. Then just kind of, so find your shin bone and then just kind of just gently just push on either side. You'll feel some muscle there. And then figure out if you want to, I'm sort of digging in with my fingers. Alternatively, I could dig in with my thumb, but it sort of feels, this works pretty well to just kind of, you almost can do both at the same time, right? If you just kind of squeeze, I'm actually doing both at the same time. So you just kind of drawing down the muscle in the front and the muscle in the back, right? So you can go up and down a few times to the tibialis that we worked with in the front a lot. All right, take both legs out, pedal a little bit, and then bend in the right. Now the left's available. So let's start off focusing on the gastrocnemius and the soleus. So the thumb's working in the back. So the hands are on the front, but you're not really working on the tibialis anterior yet. So notice what you notice. Avoid the Achilles. You're just kind of getting the muscle tissue. There. All right, and then find that shin bone on either side of it. So now sort of focus with the front of the fingers up and down, but if it works for you to have those thumbs still working the back of the leg, you can. Or down, whichever way you were. Okay, we're ready to come onto our backs. For moving towards this stretch and then towards Savasana. So let's come down. And so settle the upper body down into your breath. Let's do a figure 4 shape today. I think that might be nice for everything we did. So take your right ankle and put it on your left knee. You want to keep the right knee externally rotated. And just, so there's the shin, right? Kind of between this knee and this knee. Okay. And then pull the left thigh in, so you're holding onto it. I like to use my right elbow to keep my right knee actually rotated, and then draw everything in. And breathe here. You're probably feeling the strongest sensation in your glute muscles. But with everything we did today, you might have, and I have, sensation in my lower leg here. So just breathe here. And now let's take a twist. So you're going to let the right foot hit the ground, let the hips do whatever they do, feel whatever you feel in your leg, and tee out your right arm and look out over your right hand and breathe here. And take everything back to center, feet back down on the ground. We'll go again. So now the left ankle on the right knee, and really open the thigh, and then feel what you feel in the lower leg here. Grab onto the right thigh and pull it in. Maybe the right elbow keeps this left knee externally rotated. And then breathe here. So again, there's a lot of glute focus, but probably sensation in the lower leg as well. Right, and then drop that left foot over the, just let everything relax. Feel what you feel. Tee the left arm out and look out over the left arm. We'll breathe. baby. So again, we often focus on the pelvic floor in happy baby. Just rock, but pay a little attention to those lower legs here. And then when you're ready, stretch yourself out for Savasana. Lengthening your legs and just really let them relax, right? So the feet are going to sort of probably fall away from each other, and see if you can even just wiggle around a little bit, feel the muscles that are on the mat, and just settle the lower legs down and relax them as much as you can. We'll come into our breath. Invite it to deepen. Notice any sensations you feel in your lower legs. So the calf muscles in the back, astronomus and soleus, might feel the most activated. And firstly, you might have more awareness in tibialis anterior and posterior on either side of the shin bone. With the calf raises that we did, you could have Achilles awareness potentially. So just notice anything you notice, and we'll just breathe deeply and relax for a few moments. Wiggle just fingers, toes. Then wrist and ankle. And stretch the whole body. Then take your pick, whether you want to roll onto one side or if you want to rock up, whatever you want to do to come into a sitting position. So first time we're sitting cross-legged today, and then so just kind of really land the hips, land the knees, and just sort of feel what the lower leg feels like. It should be pretty unstressed in this position, but just see how you feel. Let's have some final breaths together, inhaling through our nostrils. And exhale and sigh. Slide down into the legs if you can. Like you're trying to sigh out your toes. Inhale again. Big sigh. Inhale again. And sigh. Thank you for joining me for this unusual and different lower leg practice. Lots of fun. We'll play all week. How was that?
That was good. That was different. That was good. I have a lot of different foot issues, and it really felt pretty good for my feet. Yeah.
Oh, good. I know.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play this week. All right.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So, but nothing Wednesday.
Nothing Wednesday. Yes. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy Merry Christmas. All right. I'll see you Friday.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, bye.